I don't know what I take away. I think what the audience takes away is that I love art.
You're the art guy. You
I'm the
draw.
art guy.
Commissions are open.
Commissions are open. Follow my Instagram.
Oh my god. What's funny is that I didn't meet you as the art guy.
That is true.
Yes, I met you through dance. So I guess you were a sort of dance guy to me.
My sub hobby, my second hobby.
Wonderful. Yes, your sub hobby. See, that's weird. Sub hobby?
I make up words.
Okay.
But I didn't start dancing until I got into theater my sophomore year.
Right. My brain just like kind of like, when did you start dancing? My brain literally like went, right. Theater.
So,
lame.
But again, like I said last episode, we wouldn't have met if I didn't do it.
Yes, that is true. So it's like with me, I've always really liked dancing.
Right.
Always. Ever since I was little. Bunch of home videos of me dancing. Embarrassing, but I've always liked to dance. Very much so. And I never really did take up dancing just because I think I was very self-conscious of my weight.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like a big kid dancing is weird. And even more so, I know I always wanted to take ballet.
Mm-hmm.
I was really interested in ballet when I was little, but my mom said my mother didn't want me to take ballet. I think I remember her saying that it was white person kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, little Hispanic girls don't do ballet.
Right.
That's not for us.
Right.
So I was like, oh, well, that sucks. Okay. Which was also weird that I used to walk on my big toes when I was little.
Right.
I don't know how. I don't know why. It's very difficult to tiptoe walk on your big toe.
On point.
On point. But I don't know how. I just did.
See, I want to see like a video of you doing this.
I don't think there was ever a video. I don't think my mom or my dad ever were like, what the, like, I gotta videotape this.
Right.
They all saw it. My mom, my dad, Michelle, my sister.
Right.
They all saw it. And they were all amazed that I can do it.
Right.
And doesn't it hurt? And it never hurt. I just went on my tippy toe. Like, literally, like, I didn't even, like, bend my toes to go on my big toe. I just went on my big toe. And I would start walking.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. But that's gone now. I can't do that. It hurts. It definitely hurts now. I can't do it. But aside from that, I always was really interested in dancing. More specifically, Latin dancing.
Right.
Even more specifically, bachata.
So
love bachata. Mm-hmm.
So then, assuming that you see this as two different things, because there's dancing, just dancing and having fun.
Yeah.
And then there's dancing like with some sort of intent.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's kind of what defines dancing as a hobby, is that there's some sort of purpose to it.
Right.
So at one point, did dancing officially become like a hobby? You're doing this with purpose, and it's not just.
Wow. Then if it's with actual purpose for the meaning of it coming to something, that would be college. See, I didn't know that we had the dance team
Right.
in high school until way later. And
Right.
then did you know?
See,
okay, so that's a no.
By dance team, do you mean like?
No, dance team, like an actual dance team.
Like
obviously, there was like
cheerleaders
cheerleaders
or
and
whatever?
poms. No, there was an actual dance team.
Then no.
Exactly. And then when I figured it out, because I didn't know either, and then I figured it out, and I think it was also the last year. It was senior year, because I think it was there, and then they took it away, and then they put it back. So when I saw that, I was like, I have to, because I knew a lot of people that were gonna also join, and it was a lot of Hispanic guys and girls. So
Right.
I was like,
Right.
It's gonna be great. I'm gonna fit in. It's gonna be fine. In the end, I think they never ended up doing it
Right.
because either the teacher wasn't there, or there weren't enough members, or something, which is really strange because it's like, how do you not have enough members if you haven't even started yet?
Right.
You know. Anyway, so that sucked. Other than that, I mean, does my Sweet 16 count? No, right? Probably not.
I'm going to say no.
Anyway, moving on. Then college, for sure. With purpose.
Right.
I unintentionally joined a dance team.
Yes.
Yes. I went for moral support for a friend, and I was just sitting off to the side, and I was like, cool, what are you doing? And it's like, oh, I really want to join a dance team.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, I'm not going to join though. And it was like, yeah, no, moral support, just sit off to the side. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we sat, I half listened. I'm not even gonna say I listened. I half listened. And I was just there and I was like, I feel so awkward. All these people are here and I'm here for shits and gigs. So then in the end, the president of the group, he was going around, why are you here? What are you interested in? You know, what's your dance style?
I remember.
Yeah, what do you do?
He asked me the same thing my first day.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that. And then everyone said everything, and I'm like all the way at the end, and then they're staring at me, and I'm like, I'm here for moral support. I'm like, I'm not here to join. I'm just here.
Right.
I'm just vibing. And then he was just like, well, anyways, like, you're here. Why don't you just... And I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm like, he's like, do you dance? And I'm like, yeah, no. Yes, but no.
See, that's where it's
You know?
he's asking you, do you dance with purpose, or are you just
Yeah.
dancing for the sake of having fun?
Yeah, exactly. Because it was essentially, why are you joining?
Right.
And I was like, I'm not. I'm here for moral support. And then it's like, well, do you have a specific style that you do dance? And I'm like, well, oddly enough, yes, I do.
Well, do you want to join?
Yeah, essentially didn't even ask me if I wanted to join. In the end, because I knew Latin dancing, I think he just wanted me to be in there.
Right.
Because I knew Latin dancing. And then they played music, and they were all just having fun. They were like, hey, dance partner? I ain't gonna turn down no dance. So I was like, yeah, sure, I don't care. I danced. He liked my move. He was like, okay, you're in. And I'm like, in what? It's like, in the dance team. And it's like, I'm just here for support, remember? I'm not joining.
Right.
And it's like, oh, yeah, you are. It's like, oh, I am? And it's like, yeah, you are. We meet these days. See you there. And I was like, well, fuck. So essentially, it was definitely a happy accident because it was like, okay, I've been wanting to do something my whole life.
Right.
And I'm finally forcefully, accidentally in it.
Right.
So I was like, okay. And then coincidentally also, I had enough free time to actually be in it. I think when I joined, I didn't have enough free time because I had a class literally like an hour, maybe 30 minutes-ish later.
Right.
So I couldn't stay the whole time in the beginning. So that actually did suck. I didn't like that. In the end, they still ended up letting me stay. So I was like, that's cool. From that, it definitely awakened the fact that I'm like, okay, I actually do really like to dance.
Right.
I always knew that I did. But now for sure that I actually know that I do like to dance.
Right.
So at that point I was like, okay, I'm really glad that my friend asked me to go, that they made me stay, and they made me join. In the beginning, do you remember how many we were?
No more than like 15, I think.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but at one point we were like 25 plus people.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Was it always consistent? No, but it was.
No, it wasn't.
But we were at a point where we were like, there's like 25 of us.
But we're gonna put ourselves.
Exactly.
God.
So
I don't miss that. I don't miss the not knowing where we're going to practice.
Right.
But essentially, I'm really glad and grateful for that dance club because it gave me the chance to dance.
Right.
Ah, I know how to rhyme. It gave me a chance to actually do something that I really, really want to do. And I definitely put most of my time into that dance group.
Right.
We weren't the best. Lord knows we weren't the best. But we were having fun. And that's the important part.
That is the important part.
But I will say that I am very proud of us in our dance group.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
For going to a competition.
Yeah.
That made me really impressed with ourselves. The fact that we always talked about joining a competition and competing, and we actually did it. Yeah. With that, I mean...
I wonder if my mom still has my little trophy and plaque.
Oh my god. Kevin won trophies and plaques.
I won. Don't even act like it's a lot. It was one trophy and one plaque. That's it. It's not that great.
Wonderful. Well, apparently, you had to put it out there that you won trophies and plaques. So apparently, what?
If you're gonna claim that I'm being egotistical right now, then I'm gonna bump it up a little bit and say that I deserve a second plaque because of one group dance that I think I helped very much.
What group dance?
I forget which one. I think it was just the one. I think we were only allowed to do one, but I like to say that my contribution helped a lot.
Whatever.
But aside from that, I only got the 2.
Kevin got 2 trophies, guys.
And all my baseball participation trophies.
And then, that was pretty much my dancing career.
Right.
It was college. So what, 2 years?
2 years.
2 years of being there, which I definitely enjoyed. In the end, it did get stressful because it was either me or the president of the group or you or maybe one other person doing choreographies. Yeah. And because nobody else wanted to do it.
Yeah.
you know? And it's like you can only do so much of Latin and someone else specific style, and then it gets repetitive,
Yeah.
you know? And then that's when everyone started losing their motivation and yada, yada, yada. But still, regardless of all that, like, I definitely had fun dancing, learning how to dance, even more so, and learning different styles,
Right.
especially ones that I'm not used to.
Right.
It's like, if I'm a Latin dancer and you want me to do hip hop, like, what? No. Yeah, gross. Like, that to me is graffiti drawing.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't.
In that sense, I'm a graffiti artist.
And yeah, but like you said, we met through the dance group,
Right.
and I can assume that dance was also a big part of sub hobby.
My journey to you and our dance group
To me,
is just a couple years longer.
lame. Yes, because you were in theater.
Yes, I started in the sophomore
I
year.
feel sorry for you.
No, don't be. I feel sorry for you.
No, don't. No, you should. I had to watch like 2 to 3 like freaking plays. You should feel sorry for me.
Anyway, so I joined sophomore year. I auditioned for their production of Grease. I walked in blind. I didn't know anything about musicals. I didn't know anything about theater.
Question. In theater, did you actually, well, of course you danced, but was it more dance or was it more singing? Or was it the same?
It was the same.
Okay.
So I walk into the audition and there was like a singing portion, and I don't want to talk about that because I probably sounded terrible. And then there was a dance portion. So apparently, Friday they had like a workshop for people to come in and learn a dance, and I did not go to said workshop. So
Of course you didn't.
So Monday come the other, because I didn't know, because I literally,
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't like, oh, they're doing Grease, I'm gonna like get involved. It was,
Right.
I hear there's auditions on this day, I'm just gonna go do it and see what happens. And if I go in, and if I get into the musical, then cool.
Yeah.
And if not, then whatever.
Because you had participation trophies
Exactly.
of baseball at home.
Exactly.
Wonderful.
I had anime.
Wow.
I had anime to go back to if I was rejected.
Wow.
So, I walk into the little theater, this big room with an entire wall of mirrors, and they start going over the dance. And I go over to one classmate, and I'm like, what dance? Because they were just going right into it. They were just doing it. And he was like, oh, there was a workshop on Friday. And I was like, oh. And so in 30 minutes, I learned a minute or two worth of dance. And I think that is what got me into the musical.
That you were a fast learner?
That I was a fast learner and that I'd gotten this dance down pretty quickly. And then even the guy that I had talked to, he was like, wow, you learned that so fast. You like, I'm watching you do it and you're doing it really well.
Yeah.
And me being my self-centered, egotistical little self in high school, I was like, hell yeah.
God.
But also, at the same time, I was like, I'm actually enjoying this. This is actually really fun.
Yeah.
This is the most physical I've ever been in my life.
Same.
Outside of like gym class.
Can't relate.
And so got a part in Grease as one of the backup dancers. Like one of, I don't want to say core dancers, but core dancers. I got to do a lot of dancing. And then from there, I did every musical that I was able to do. And then I made my friends, my theater friends, my friends that I met through theater friends. And from there, I met another guy who was an amazing dancer. And I was like, I'd watched him do one dance in particular. And I was like, oh, what dance are you doing? Can you show me this dance?
Yeah.
And then he starts playing a K-pop song. And I was like, that's interesting. And so I look up the song and I'm watching the dance. And every day or every other day after rehearsals, he would teach me a little bit more of it. And I'm like learning this dance and I'm trying to get it down. And I'm having so much fun. And on top of that, when I have my own little alone time, I'm just like footloose, like just running around the room, doing moves and being goofy. And for like that entire part where I focused on dance, I completely forgot about drawing.
Oh, was this in high school?
Yeah, this was in high school. So sophomore, junior, senior, and then the 2 years that we were in the dance group, there was a lot of back and forth of dancing and drawing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of lack of drawing in those years, even though I was, in AP art and art classes and the Chicago program.
See, that's strange because it's like when we met, obviously I learned that you were in theater and then came here through people that you knew that were in the dance group.
Right.
And then just decided to join.
Right.
Just, because they thought that you'd be interested.
Right.
But then it's like, I know later on, once we started hanging out, I knew you to draw, like, obviously also, but you drew a lot.
Yeah.
Like, all the time.
Yeah.
So
there was a lot, like I said, there's a lot of back and forth in those years where it's, obviously when I want to choreograph something, I'm like hyper focused. I'm trying to get this choreography down.
Yeah.
And then when that wasn't the focus, I'm trying to go back to drawing and do that.
Okay.
So I picked up dancing, and then the friend that taught me was the guy that introduced me into K-pop, and then I really got into K-pop because growing up with anime, I've listened to a lot of Japanese rock through the anime intros and outros. Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is totally up my alley. Yeah. And I got really into K-pop, and I still love K-pop, not as much as I used to, only because my favorite group is doing their mandatory military services.
Right, I forget about that.
I don't forget.
Yeah, I know.
I want them to come back so bad.
And I'm sure they will. I'm sure they'll hear this.
That's a conversation for a different day, though.
No.
I have opinions.
Wonderful. That everyone's on their edge to know about.
And then, in terms of my dancing style, it is like a giant.
I was like just about to ask. It's like I know I ask you this a lot. Where exactly do you categorize yourself? Because obviously with your art, it is in fact like anime style when you do draw. And then with your dancing, I know like I would ask you this a lot because it's like I guess in the end, would you categorize it in hip hop?
Only for the sake of giving an answer, yes.
Right.
If you ask me what my influences are, it's K-pop. You know, those guys are very precision based and very clean cut, and they're trying to do these quick moves, but they try to do it and make it look really nice.
Yeah.
Right. And then once I started getting into dancing, I'd like watched all the Step Up movies, and I've like even before I got into dancing, I was always like fascinated by Chris Brown and Usher and their style of dancing and Justin Timberlake's style of dancing. Yeah. So that dancing also was thrown into there.
See, that's crazy because that's like obviously
That was adorable. I really hope the mic picked up that our bunny just purred and it was.
She did not purr. It was a yawn. So it was some sort of growl. She did not. She sounded like she gurgled. Yeah, that was basically what just happened. See, it's like with you, obviously you had all these influences to help you learn and adjust your dancing style. And for me, it was just my mom, you know? So that's weird because it's like, what famous Latin dancer that's like, oh, J-Lo? No. Shakira? No.
But even they do like choreography.
They do, but they don't do like Latin choreography. Right, exactly. They do just whatever choreography. See, I don't know. But like there was never anybody that was like, oh my god, this Latin dancer that does merengue or cumbia or bachata, you know, all that stuff. It's like there was never anybody that was like, I like this person.
I think it's just like Latin dance culture is very much like everyone can do it and it's very accessible because everyone can do it if they know how to move.
Everyone, yes. But that is like the main thing. And that's the one thing that I definitely looked up to for my mom is that she was so careless and free when she danced. Yes. And that's all I wanted to do with Latin dancing.
And that's all it takes.
And it is. With any kind of dancing, that's definitely it. But it's like also with Latin dancing, it's like there's precision that you have to do. And there's hits that there's like movements that you have to hit and whatnot. In the end, it's the guy making sure that the girl look good. Yes. So if the guy is fucking up, then the dance is fucked up.
So there's Latin cultures, dance culture, and then there's American dance culture where it's you have break dancers, you have tutters, you have shufflers, you have a lot of like different styles that demand your attention and demand that you invest the hours to set yourself in that style. Yeah. And it's not like they all don't share like the same root. Yeah. As Latin dance does.
And that was definitely a struggle for me when we were in the dance group and when someone would teach all of that, like I could not do it. My body did not like it. I guess I could do it, but I wasn't happy doing it. Right. I was like, I have to because I have to. Right. And we're going to perform this and I have to do somewhat decent. I have to care. But then it's like, obviously when we do Latin, I would definitely like, this is how you have to do it. Get it together. Right. You know, so maybe it was a little one-sided of me. But hey, it is what it is.
But so going back to my influences, K-pop, it was traditional hip-hop, like from professional artists and their choreographers. And the last thing, I watched a lot of YouTube videos from one channel called Urban Dance Camp, and that's where I got to familiarize myself with a lot of choreographers that I watch even today, and let them influence me. And it was always like, I want to be like them. Yeah. And so throwing all those three together is what created my quote-unquote style.
Being in the dance group, definitely. I was like, I need some inspiration because the only dancing I knew was at home dancing and my mom dancing, you know, whatever you just see and you just learn and you just pick up. Right. So there was never anybody that ever influenced me. But once I started doing choreographies and learning how to do stuff, I was like, okay, I need to see how other people do it. I need to make sure that I'm doing it right. I need to make sure this and that and this and that and this and that. And there was definitely definitely this one couple that was always amazing to me. Like everything that they did was spot on. Their intimacy in dancing together, because they're a couple.
Right.
So the connection that they have and the connection that they have with the dance, with bachata, because that's essentially what they do, is like everything that I aspire to be.
Right.
And like they're at Teca in Alemania.
Are you plugging people? Where am I looking? Okay.
So I want to make sure I say that right, because I never really learned.
I'm not going to try to say it.
Yeah.
The way you said it, I'm pretty sure it's the proper way.
I mean, I hope so. That's their name. And it's like the channel is like Island Touch channel. And they're always coming up with videos and whatnot. And I'll look into it from time to time, because obviously now we don't dance. I don't dance.
Right.
So there's no reason for me to really keep up with their videos. But when I do, it's like it brings back that rush, that feeling. And
Totally.
It's like I want to go back.
Oh my God, for sure.
I want to go back. I want to start doing it again.
One of our goals should be that if this succeeds or if something else succeeds, so that we find time to dance.
Yeah.
And
if somebody would take me out dancing, that would fulfill my need for dancing. But I guess it is what it is.
Good thing I can cut that out.
But I was definitely impressed with the way that you danced, because it was also different. The same thing with your drawing. They were both different but similar. It's like I've never seen someone dance like that before.
Right.
There's your hip hop, obviously. It's like I've seen that. I've seen it in movies. I've seen people do it. Right. Yeah, whatever. And then obviously me being exposed to Latin music, Latin dancing, and all that stuff. It's like, okay, I've seen it, but if you could do it better than me, then I'm definitely impressed. And then with you, it's like, again, I don't know what it is that you do or where to categorize it. If we would have to, I guess, like you said, hip hop. But even then, I don't think that's what it is.
Right. If someone asks me and I'm like hip hop,
but then they see you dance and
watch me dance, and then it's like, that's not hip hop, sir.
Insert 5-minute clip of you dancing. Oh my God. But yeah, I know when I saw you dancing, I was like, okay, the way that you would move through the choreography was different than everybody else. Obviously, me not knowing hip hop, I would try to mimic the move to how it was supposed to be done. I think I would add still my own Latin twist just because I needed it. But essentially, the way that you would do it, I'm like, okay, doing it effortlessly and flawlessly, like without care, without the care. And I think that's what definitely got me very interested in the way that you danced, because it was without care, and very just with the motion and very effortlessly, like I said.
Okay.
Okay, you okay? All right, bad dream. It's a bad dream. It's okay. Go away, dream, and go. Oh, my bad. I sorry.
Like it was those comments from the rest of our dance members that were like, you don't do hip hop, or the way you dance is so different. And it's like, but like, I'm just trying to be like the people I'm watching on YouTube.
That's why. And even then, it's like, is that hip hop? And that's hip hop.
And that's hip hop.
Fast Burgers reference.
Yes, because they're professional choreographers who actually worked with, actual artists.
Right.
Like, and I'm going to do my plug now because you got your plug in. But my favorite couple dancers, Keone and Marie, they've worked with Justin Bieber, and they've worked with K-pop artists. So it's like, in a sense, they are what I aspire to be, because they have work in the three things that, have influenced me. But in American hip hop, in Korean pop, and their own thing, their own artistic style. More than anything, Keone, the husband of that couple, is the guy that I look up to more than anybody. His choreography and his dancing is amazing. Right. And I don't know if I told you, but they opened up a dance space of their own where they're gonna make their work and help people do their work and train their bodies. They're also working out and keeping physical health condition.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they uploaded like a 2-part video, maybe, of him teaching a dance. And the way he teaches it reminds me exactly of the way I used to teach when I choreographed. So watching that video was very much like, oh, I really am trying to be like you.
I think that's essentially what the couple that I watch essentially does too. Because now with the whole quarantine and whatnot, they would always be at a studio, or they would perform in front of people, because that was their main thing. They would perform for people, or be in competitions and perform. And obviously now they can't do that. So they started uploading videos of them just dancing, them teaching basic dances, how to do what they do. And like you said, it's like there are some videos they have where it's like, well, maybe not the way that I did it, because I was very, you have to get it. You have to get it. Why aren't you getting it? Everyone's bodies move differently.
Right.
And with Latin dancing, your body has to be loose, but you also got to hit them beats. And I remember that was your main problem.
Right.
And it irks me to this day.
Because my whole formula to movement is bouncing around between precision and loose. You gotta be loose at, for these like 3 moves, and then the next 3 or 4 moves are like super precise, and then it just bouncing back and forth between the two.
I mean, that's essentially Latin dancing also.
Latin dancing is more
Latin dancing is definitely very precise. It's like I tell you, it's like whenever you hold a girl, you have to hold her tight and stern, but you have to also be loose.
What my biggest trouble is just the repetitive steps. With bachata, it's 4 steps back and forth. And I can only do that perfectly fine in rhythm so long before my mind is like, and we're done.
See, and that's why it's like I want to add more stuff, but you can't, If I add a move in there on you, you're like, what's this now?
It throws me off.
Yeah, and it's like, I know you don't like
the spontaneity of it all.
What?
Like when we're dancing, right? And you want to do spins and turns, it's like my head is wired perfectly for choreography and getting a set piece down and then replicating it in front of an audience. It is not wired to dance and then add these twists and turns on the fly.
Well, essentially, that's what it is. Essentially, it's like if you know the dance move, if you understand it, if you know it, then you'll know when to do it on what beats. And essentially, it is the same dance move over and over and over, but to different songs.
Right. Okay.
So if you and your partner know the dance move, you can do it whenever, and your partner will follow. But you have to do that initial move, and then your partner will get it and go with you, and you could go back to that 2-4 step, and then add something else.
Okay.
I don't know either, but it's you're getting on my nerves. you gotta get with it, because
it all comes back to my mom asking me to dance and then me being too embarrassed to dance with her.
When was that?
Every family party that me and my mom have ever gone to.
Oh my gosh.
And she's about to ask me to dance.
Wow. I see. I never knew that either.
I let my mom down.
Yeah, you did.
We all let my mom down in that aspect.
Oh yeah, right. I had asked your brothers. They knew how to dance, and they were like, oh.
Nope. Just the 2-step.
But whenever I did ask if they wanted me to teach them, they were all very like, yeah, okay.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it's like, oh cool, that's cool, okay. It's like all of you just need to come to my class. Let me plug myself in. If you want a Latin dance choreographer, I'm available.
Where are we gonna host? Here?
I don't know.
Can't fit people here.
I don't know. Park. I don't know.
Bring your masks.
Or I could do choreography and then teach it to you. Or give you my notes.
Your stick figure notes.
Shush. Shush.
But it worked for you. So
it definitely did work.
For me, I didn't have notes. I had the piece done, and I taught you how to do it, and that was it.
No, but that was definitely the very irksome thing about you. It's that you would have it in your head, which is fine, which is great, and then you do it, and it's like, okay, wait, what do we do? And it's like, you just do it, and it's like, but what do we do?
Yeah.
And it's like, you just do it, and it's like, do what? Like, what steps? How do you do that? How do you get there? And then I'd be like,
well, and then I try to add, the 8 count to it, and it'd be like, well, it's 1, 2, and a 3 and a 4, and then he goes brada tada tada tada, and we do this motion.
That's fun, because a lot of people didn't learn that way. I know I definitely, with Latin, it's definitely a 1, 2, 3, 4, cha cha cha, spin, dip. It's like all of that. And I feel like that's every dance, genre. But it's like you teach the way you teach, but the way that you taught was horrendous.
Oh my god, yes.
Like, I could not stand you. And I think essentially that's why I couldn't do hip hop, just because it's like I need precision, and you guys weren't giving it to me.
Latin dance is very easily pinpointed down. You can do it.
And it was like, you're not giving it to me. I'm not understanding what you're doing. And then essentially I would do it my own way. And then it was like, okay, that works. And it's like, yeah, it does. Do it my own way. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. So I think those 2 years of dancing were really important to me and definitely did help shape me in some way. Definitely wish that was something that I continued and pursued. And I know I can continue it. There are groups out there. There are teams out there.
Right.
But also, it's like, I don't want to be part of a team, if that makes sense.
I do, but I don't. I do because then I have a reason to go dance.
Yeah.
But I don't because I am afraid that the team won't understand my dancing.
I think also that.
And I would also just would rather prefer to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And then just be like, hey, random person, do you want to learn my dance and be a part of like some sort of video or performance?
Yeah, exactly. I can't be part of a team that does different genre. Been there, done that. I can't do it. It's like if I'm gonna be in a group, it's just gonna be a Latin group, and specifically like the people that I watch on YouTube, it's like they just do bachata. Essentially, what they can do other.
Do they live in California?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
My couple.
Are we moving to California?
Just so we can be with the people that we want to dance with. So I think this needs to be a part 2 because we're at an hour and 49 minutes.
Oh.
And the past 49 minutes have just been dance. So I think this has to be 2 parts, which is interesting.
Because like, there's a lot more that I want to talk about dancing, but I haven't said just because it's like already too much.
Right.
You know?
At this point, too much is non-existent.
Yeah. What's stopping me from saying more is like not names or situations, but you know, like I don't know how to describe it.
Do we just give everybody we know a random name?
No, I don't think so.
From here on out, my name is Bob.
Anyway, but yeah. So what were we talking about? Moving to LA. What?
Chicken Little.
Wonderful. Wow.
Who are you talking about?
I hate. Are you picking on me because he has glasses?
No.
Are you calling me 4 eyes?
No.
Are you calling me a chicken? Are you calling me a thigh because I'm big?
No.
Is that it?
I'm cutting all that out.
You're so rude.
You're rude.
I'm trying to see how we can wrap it up, I guess.
So essentially, we are here because of our hobbies.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't heard you say that you were impressed by my dancing.
I've always been impressed by your.
Have you though?
Yes.
Have you though?
Yes. It's very much the same with the way you see my dancing. It's like you.
Latin?
No.
Or my dancing in general?
You're dancing because you've come up with great choreographies. I've always like the way your choreographies have impressed me because of the way that they've been structured and the moves that you include in them.
Yeah.
Like some of them are really taxing. Like there was the one where you have me flipping my partner over their head, and then somehow I'm supposed to spin them and have them in my arms like a weight bar, and then I have to spin. And I remember that day we got it down. We struggled so much.
I know we
to
did.
Get it down, and then you couldn't get it down, and you were just gonna cut it.
I can get it down. Mm-hmm.
The helicopter? Because what it was
the helicopter wasn't for me. I knew that wasn't for me. That was for one specific girl, and we'll just cut it. But it's like it was for, and I think for I wasn't doing it.
Right, but
me and this other girl were doing something else.
But it was my partner, and we got it down.
Yeah.
And then super light, so she should have got it. I don't know.
I
remember is that we got it down.
Yeah.
And then you told us we weren't going to do it anymore. And then me and my partner were like, well, that sucked. We tried so hard. What ended up happening was there was some sort of dip, and then there was a spin, and then the spin led up to me lifting her and spinning around like a helicopter. And you cut the lifting and the helicopter move, and it was just the spin into something else. Yeah. We had struggled for a good hour trying to get that all down really nicely. And was it because the other people didn't do it? Probably. And I know that move wasn't for me. Right. I wouldn't put that move on me because I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. I put it for specific people. Then it must have been because I knew with them being light and with their flexibility, they'd be able to do it, if that makes sense. Right. Yeah. So I know essentially that wasn't for me. But I don't remember cutting it. Essentially I cut a part of it, is what you're saying. Essentially. Okay. But your choreographies have always been challenging, and that's always something I like being challenged. For me, Latin, a lot of people think it's just a 1, 2, 3, 4, back and forth, a spin here and there. But then you add all this other stuff, and it's like, no, that's not true. No, it's not. It honestly isn't, and that's why I love it so much because you can do so much. The beats are precise, but you can do so much within them because they're so simple at the same time. Because you have such a solid, solid music, and it's not solid rhythm, crazy. Solid. It's consistent. Yes, you have endless possibilities of how you can configure a choreography. And that's why I think I love it so much, just because it's so easy to work with. So easy to work with and so much you can do. In the 2 years that we were in the dance group, your choreographies were always the most fun for me.
Oh, thank you. Oh.
Even the ones that were just you and two other girls, like that one was really fun to watch you guys get down and then end up performing.
Yeah.
It's not that I'm not impressed. I'm very much impressed. I very much love your choreography. But ultimately, it's like you see my dancing and it's like, okay, that's really cool, but that's not your style. And obviously that's not my style, but I appreciate the work that you put in. I appreciate the time that you invest in getting it done and getting it taught to your dancers and getting them to do it right so that you could produce a good product at the end.
Which I appreciate, which I definitely do. I was very nitpicky.
Oh my God. Yes.
And it's because I knew what you guys could do, and I knew you guys could get it, and for some reason you guys weren't getting it, and I wasn't understanding why. And it's like, you're just throwing her in the air and you're doing a flip. What is so hard? I definitely do appreciate everyone's patience whenever I did teach, because I don't have patience. So the fact that you guys gave it to me and you guys willingly learned it and didn't complain about it, or not to my face, but that you guys didn't complain was very much like, I was so happy that I was able to see my choreography actually come out the way that I wanted it to come out,
Can you say the same for myself?
Because nobody could do what you could do.
Exactly.
You set like this bar up so high that you couldn't even really reach, and you expected us to be as good as you.
What's wrong with that?
None of us were like that. Especially coming from me, a Latin dancer, and it's like, your stuff was too slow for me. And
that is true.
It was too slow, and it was so tedious, and I was just like, I don't want to be a little itty bitty tree blowing in the wind. No, I don't want to do it. It just wasn't for me.
Right.
I appreciated it. I loved watching it.
That's why.
Yeah, loved watching it. I appreciated it, but it just wasn't for me. Just thinking about it makes me sad.
So I think that about wraps up our hobbies.
Did we tell you that we liked art and dancing?
This is definitely a part 2. This is for sure. Thank you for listening to this 2-part episode.
If you're still even here, didn't bore you to death?
I hope me talking about art and my my upbringing with art wasn't too boring.
I feel like this one might have been like a little like peep, but it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. I enjoyed it. For anybody for any future reference, if they want to know how you got to where you got to.
Yes.
Because right now with your drawing, you're drawing every day, you're working on something every day, you're giving out drawings not every day, but a lot of people are asking for you to draw something, and actually paying you.
Right.
And a lot of people are noticing that you're good, but that you're getting better, So that's really exciting to see.
It's very exciting.
Yeah.
So thank you again for listening to our last 2 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. Like and comment and subscribe so that
if you like it, great. Keep on listening. If you don't,
keep on listening
because we're pretty fun and entertaining. It's coming. It's coming. I swear it is. We're fun.
Like, comment, subscribe, so that you can get notifications when we upload our next episode.
Big.
Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Links will be in the description. That is everything.
Oh.
We will talk to you guys next time.
Okay, bye.
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 Okay, bye.
There. Oh no, I still haven't hung up. God dang.